Hey everyone, Dave Jeffers from Dave Jeffers Artist. I just wanted to answer some questions I've been getting lately on Instagram and Facebook. Some of you have messaged me, and one person asked me a question that was pretty deep, I thought. They said, why bother painting at all? Of all the things you could do during your day, why do you go for hours and paint? And I thought about that for a while, and then I thought about, what if I didn't paint? You see, when you're an artist, a writer, any kind of other visual artist or someone who creates something, the ideas spring into your head. And unless you bring them out somehow, you kind of go crazy. How can I explain this? There'll be times when I'm doing something different, shopping at Walmart, and in my head are all kinds of images that flash. Paintings that are going to be creative, textures and everything. And it's kind of weird, but that's the way it works. See, I have to create or I kind of go crazy. It's kind of like breathing for me. If I didn't paint, if I didn't draw, a big part of my life would be missing. Some of you know my story about abuse, and a big part of releasing a lot of that anger, a lot of that disgust, a lot of those bad feelings was by me doing artwork in my very early years. So for them, it was like life and death for me, paint or die kind of a thing. That's how I got my feelings out. But I have to paint. A couple examples of this. There are some artists named, not artists, well, I guess you could call them artists. Actually, they're composers named Mozart and Beethoven. They were famous for hearing the music inside their heads. One would go around town, and he was always kind of going like this, like he was composing a symphony all the time. It was all happening in his head. And he had to get that onto paper because he was hearing it all the time. His brain was always doing these things. And even after he had health problems like deafness, he could still hear the music in his head, still compose, and still knew if the music felt right. He actually could feel the vibrations. It's kind of like that for me. If I don't paint for a while, I get angry. I get disappointed. I notice things affect me differently. I snap at people because a big part of me is not getting done. So I paint for my own health at times, but I paint a lot just because I love it. I love creating something on canvas, on paper, or whatever that kind of reflects me. And even though I'm doing abstracts, contemporary art, I call them rhythmic abstracts because they're not true abstracts because there's a definite rhythm to them. Some abstracts you see, it's not so much about the rhythm, and sometimes you look and go, I don't understand what's going on here. Well, it's like that for mine, except mine do have things you can recognize in them. They're never intended. I'm painting, and in fact, look back at my channel and you'll see that I talk about this in one of my paintings that I didn't intend on anything real showing up, yet there's 3 or 4 people, maybe 5 or 6 people in my painting, profiles, animals, things I didn't create consciously, but obviously unconsciously, somehow they were there. And all that needs to come out. When you're a creative, when you're an artist, composer, writer, actor, whatever you want to lump into that, sculptor, whatever other kind of art forms there are, you have a need to get that out. And so why paint? I have to. It's like breathing for me. Someone else asked, how did you ever learn to paint the way you paint? Why don't you paint animals? Why don't you paint people? Why don't you paint things everyone knows what they are? It's kind of funny. It's never been my love. Now, I did start out as an artist, of course, painting things you could see. You learn by copying. The greatest artists in the world learn how to paint by copying other famous paintings, learning their techniques. And I started that way, but I would always doodle on my whatever paper I had. I would always come up with these designs, which are very similar to the paintings I do now. It's kind of funny, isn't it? It was always there. I just didn't recognize it right away. And that was just the way it came out. Someone asked me, do you have any teachers? I really only had one teacher. Her name was Roberta Bear, and she lived down in the little town called Angola, New York, where I grew up. And she lived down by the lake, and she had a studio, beautiful upstairs loft studio. And for a while, I took lessons from her. My lessons consisted of bringing in some subject matter, and I would paint, and then she would come along behind me and kind of give me tell me how to get the tones I was looking for, how to mix the colors, and that sort of thing. And there were also other students there. I was very young, maybe 12, and got disappointed later because she stopped taking what she called kids. And that's the time you need the most help. So I disagreed with her there, but that's just the way it went. So after that, I was pretty much self-taught. And the art for me, I don't have trouble creating it. Go look back at my video on Facebook and on YouTube, and you'll see the process I use. I don't sit in front of a canvas and wonder what I'm going to do today. And I just like to create the tones. I like to create the shades, the shadows, just everything that has to do with painting, the richness of the colors, all that. It's just a part of my life, has been since I can remember. And those are some of the deepest questions I've been asked. Other people ask things like, how do you sell your paintings? I don't sell a lot of paintings. I sell some, working on that, just like some of you are. But I have, down in my studio here, about 160 paintings. And some I've given away over the years. I have some hanging uptown now in a cafe. We have in town a beautiful art scene in Springville, New York. We have a professional gallery made out of an old church that they took, renovated, and rebuilt. We have an arts cafe, which is just what it sounds like. You can eat there, but they also display people's artwork. And they even have an area downtown now still run by the same Springville art people. And it's an area where you can rent a studio if you want. You can go in there, buy artwork, see other artists working. And so that's cool. My studio is right here in my house. I just prefer it to be that way. So I wanted to answer a couple of those questions for you, kind of let you know where I'm coming from. Why do I paint? I have to. I think I'd go crazy if I didn't. When I don't paint, I get irritable. I get mean. I don't see life as good. Always in my head, I'm painting something. And sometimes I'll just go somewhere and I'll see something and it'll inspire me. A shape. Could be the texture on an old barn. It could be almost anything. And it'll inspire me, and I keep that in my head. I go to sleep thinking about painting and doing artwork. I wake up thinking about what I'm going to do today with my art. And it's just a part of me. Any of you creatives out there can understand. So I wanted to answer a couple of those questions, give you the why, because I have to. It's just like breathing. Some of you artists are probably shaking your head up and down. Yep, when I can't paint, when I can't draw, it's not as much fun in life. So I draw for the pure enjoyment of it. I paint for the pure enjoyment of it. But also it's therapy for me, coming from my past, which wasn't great. And so I'm probably still working through that. But I'm usually very happy when I paint. I generally don't paint when I'm angry. I don't want that to come out in the canvas. I've only painted one painting like that. My daughter, Rain, has it. And she lives in Texas. And it's called Pain. One day, it all just came to me, all the stuff I'd been through. And I painted a painting that looks kind of scary. I didn't keep it. I immediately gave it away. Because once I get it out on canvas, it's gone. See, all the ideas we as artists have up here, they need to come out. And who knows? I think every artist has been that way since history's began. We all have to paint. We all have to draw. It's just who we are. I'm so glad you joined me for a little bit during this live video. Hi, everyone that's on. Appreciate it. Just wanted to give you an idea of who I am, why I'm doing it. That's my why. Like breathing. Some of you artists are the same way. And some of you that don't do artwork, but you collect, I know we have a lot of collectors that come on here and look. That's what my art is all about. I have to. And most of the time I'm creating it from a very positive framework. Some of my paintings were created out of some of the pain I went through. They still look good, but in them are the pain, and I'd have to explain it to you probably to see it. Although many people that look at my art tell me it's amazing to them because they can feel it. And I think it just comes through, even when you're not intending to. Guys, I've had so much fun sharing a little bit of time with you, kind of telling you why and everything about my painting. Hope to talk with you again soon. Till then, have a great day. Keep creating.